I have Miss Mabato Ramagoshi of SADA, who's going to speak to us about the role her agency is playing in documenting everything that's been going on over the last few days. Hello, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you.
What role does your agency have in documenting what's happening today and other events happening around the country?
South African Heritage Resources Agency, its task is to protect, preserve the heritage of the country. So what we are going to do is to ensure that everything that has been happening now, and even previously, because our mandate is to ensure that the South African population and the future children know our heritage. So we are looking at Mandela's life from the day he was born until the 5th of December. And we first, if you look at Mvezo, already we have declared that site as a national heritage site because our mandate is to identify, to conserve and preserve. And ultimately, when we think that a product, a resource, a building has national significance, we then declare it as a national heritage site. So we are going to ensure that we follow his life history, and any area of national significance, we will protect it, will preserve it, will work with community around to ensure that they also have pride in preserving that resource as a national heritage site. So like on Monday already, we have declared the National Parliament and the Union Building as national heritage sites. And if we all know in South Africa that the first elected democratic president, as he was the president in the parliament, he was the first black president to preside in the Union Building. So the 16th of December, when we celebrate 100 years of the Union Building, already as SADA, we've declared it as a national heritage site.
So is SADA's role only to look at fixed structures like buildings, or do you deal with, for instance, documentation on paper, photographic exhibitions? I'm asking because yesterday at Parliament, for instance, they were handing out pamphlets with photos of Madiba and quotes of his, and people were rushing to take these home as mementos. So do you play a role in those aspects of documentation as well?
We're not only looking at buildings. I mean, we declare even the oral history. We're looking at objects. Sometimes you find that there are objects in this country that are rare, and SADA's mandate is to ensure that we don't lose that as South Africa, because those are our national heritage. Artifacts, whatever that is of national significance that you might not know, whether it's a cup that might be a rare cup in the world, that we will preserve and ensure that we protect it for the country. Now, even the documentation, whatever now is going to be there, SADA has a South African Information Services called SARIS. It's an information service where we are able to store any type of information that we'll be able to preserve electronically, so it won't even get old. I mean, what we are doing now, we're taking all old manuscripts. We are ensuring that we now scanning them and preserving them in the system. So whatever is out there, South Africa must rest assured that it will be in SARIS, it will be preserved for our future generations. So it's not only buildings, oral history, whatever is underwater. You know, there are shipwrecks that we don't even know about that are underwater. SADA, the marine archaeologists, are also looking at that. We're looking at rock art. We've got paleontology. We've got archaeologists. So even that is underground, SADA is preserving that for South Africans.
Ma'am, thank you so much for your time. That was Mabato Ramagoshi of SADA explaining to us how the organization will be documenting everything that has been happening over the last few days, as well as Madiba's life, and they will be adding that to our already rich history so that our children will one day have access to all of this information. Studio, back to you.